Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. See, I just put the light on. I forgot the light. Meditation, we must practice every day. Not only every day, but at the same time, preferably. If we think, I will meditate when I want, when I feel like, no, that doesn't help. Someone who has come to the higher stages of meditation, he may say that we are beginners. Always consider ourselves to be beginners. We begin, get up in the morning, preferably before sunrise, when the world is calm, when the world is quiet, no traffic sound, no bird sound, the chirping of the birds. And at that time, when the whole universe is so serene, so quiet, sit at that time. And sitting does not mean you have to do something. You have to just sit. And where your attention should be? Your attention should be on the calmness. That is not only on one hand, the calmness is outside naturally, you access the calmness inside. Why do we do it in the morning? Why do it at the Brahma Muhurt? Why do it before the sunrise? Because at that time, we told you, outside world is already calm and quiet. Inside us, the mind is also naturally calm and quiet, because throughout the night, the mind has thrown out what was not required by way of dream, and to a large extent, the mind has become tranquil. When that tranquil mind is not disturbed by the outside world, it dives deep into itself. It will happen naturally. Initially it may not, because we are not used to it. But as we start practicing it on a daily basis, at the same time, it becomes a habit. Oh, I'm not feeling it. You keep doing it. You keep practicing it. A day will suddenly, a shift will happen. Don't become discouraged by nothing is happening. When you say nothing is happening, it means your attention is on some experience that you want. We don't want an experience. We just want to be with ourselves, calm, quiet, tranquil, at peace with ourselves. Meaning, when we say at peace with ourselves, meaning our mind should be calm, quiet, and tranquil. See, it is the mind which is creating all the turmoil. It is the mind which is thinking all the thoughts. It is the mind which is creating all the drama. And in the morning when you wake up, or in the evening at the time of um, uh, before sunset, if we try and practice, give ourselves this opportunity to sit with ourselves, it will be a great help, which may not be visible in the beginning, but with continued practice. Nowadays, if I have got a mala in my pocket, when all I have to do is touch my mala. Sometimes I can't even it's only a small one, 18, whatever the one which comes in your wrist. But because we have done the mala for so many years, that you touch the mala, I start chanting the mantra. Before the mala is over, my mind has become quiet. Before, if I come to this seat where I sit for meditation, if I just come there and sit on this chair, because I have done it for so many years, before I know it, my mind has uh, got absorbed itself into its source. So practice, 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 practice. Mind, all that mind requires is practice. Realization is not practice. Meditation is not a practice. It is not something that you can do, but you give yourself the opportunity to be in an environment. Give the mind an opportunity to be in an environment, in the condition, in the space, at a particular time, where there are minimum distractions, so that mind can go back to its source. Nature is doing that when you go to sleep every night. It is a way of mind going back to its source. It is one with the source in sleep. We don't know it. Meditation is a way, after waking up in the morning, maybe 2-3 times a day, where we allow the mind to go back to its source and remain conscious, because we are the consciousness. Mind was active before, now the mind is become calm. A calm mind, an empty mind, uh, what you call a mind without uh, thoughts, for a small period of time, two things will happen. Either it will go to sleep, or it will be in meditation. So again and again, bring yourself to a point where our mind becomes available to that absorption. It is also seeking that. That's why every night it goes to sleep. Like when we go to certain temples, or we go to certain temples, you go in and you say, "Oh, it is so wonderful! What a wonderful vibration here!" And you sit down, and you, for those 2, 5, 10 minutes that you are there, you feel very nourished. When you are sitting in some puja where the chanting of mantra is going on, and maybe you are also chanting, but after some time your mind just gets absorbed, you feel nourished. Or havan is going on, you're looking at the fire, all people are doing the putting the ahuti, or some puja is going on, and in that moment, suddenly, for few seconds, few minutes, few maybe more, You feel you're absorbed. Maybe after that, oh, I got to do this, I got to do that, I should not go to sleep. It is not sleep, it is meditation. You are awake. So, these are certain places, certain moments where meditation involuntarily gets induced. So, make yourself available to such environments. See, most importantly, we should avoid bad company. We should avoid company which talks about the world and not talk about the higher things, about God or self, or because you remain in that company, your mind will be programmed with those type of thoughts all the time. So beware, protect yourself. When we go on pilgrimages, sometimes we go to various temples. There we feel a great sense of peace pervading ourselves. We have not done anything. Another place, time when you can meditate is when the various festivals come, and on those festivals day, a huge chunk of humanity is meditating on that God, thinking about that God, contemplating on that God. So naturally, the entire atmosphere in your house, in your community, in your city, in your country is conducive because so many millions of people are thinking about the same God. At that time, contemplate on that God and sit in meditation. Those are windows of opportunities. We are living a very busy lifestyle, doing that, achieving this, always running from pillar to post, trying to be on top of what life is presenting us. When we are in a busy environment, it becomes a bit hard to meditate. So give yourself a present, get up in the morning. When we were in the ashram, so we had to wake up at 5:30, go to the temple before sunrise and sit in meditation. 5 o'clock, I think, yeah. So, and the sun rays used to come through the windows and bask us while we are meditating. That would be the way we come out of meditation because only 1 hour there. After that, we have to go for class. And once you create this practice, once you become regular at this practice at a regular time, at a regular place in your house, over a period of time, automatically, at that time, you will automatically wake up from the bed. Automatically in your mind, the thought will come, I must sit down for some time. Whatever you may be doing, because you have practiced it for so many months, years, etc. See, habit. Create a habit. It's healthy. Create this habit, it is healthy. Don't create the habit of watching the TV. Don't create the habit of getting involved in unwanted conversations. Don't create a habit of uh, uh, talking to such people who disturb your mind again and again. Protect yourself. We are not saying that you keep judging all the people, but you be aware of your mind. That is it getting disturbed or is it quiet and calm? So, in this manner, with this short intro about how to meditate, not or when to meditate, and what is the benefit, uh, and what is the benefit of it? Benefit is only one. mind is calm, mind is cheerful, mind is tranquil under all sets of condition. This will not happen initially, but as you build it up, as you become comfortable with yourself, as you learn to accept yourself as you are, as your all the disturbance is not in the self, all the disturbance is only in the mind. And that mind, when it accepts, this is a very big point. Right now, the disturbance is because the mind has accepted the world and it considers the world to be real. When this mind, through regular application, satsang, meditation, japa, etc., etc., comes to recognize and accept that self is the real one and the world is the unreal one, then the unwanted disturbances in the mind, they will start becoming pacified. And once this clicks to the mind, that is grace, we can keep reading the book. For meditation, you don't need to read any book. For meditation, you don't need to attend lectures, guided meditation. This is stupid. There is nothing called guided meditation. Yes, it helps in today's society. That's why we do it. But you must have experienced, so many people have experienced without reading any books. I have experienced without reading any books, sitting in meditation when I was young. See? So, what do you accept, not expect, but accept? What do you accept? Do you accept this body and the world to be more important than the self? Or do you accept the self to be more important than the body and the world? If you accept the first one, the mind will get cluttered with thoughts of the body and the world. If you accept the self or God as the real one, then to that extent of your acceptance, your mind will become calm. Because truthfully, there is no difference between the mind and the self. It is not that this is the mind and this is the self. This is the idam and aham and this is the idam. No, this aham and idam is only a phenomena. Actually, what is there? Only one. Actually, what is there? Only water. Water is playing with itself as ocean and wave. Similarly, we are one in essence. And we are playing with ourselves. The self is playing with itself. On one hand, it becomes the seer. On the other hand, it becomes the seen. On one hand, it becomes the experiencer. The other hand, it becomes the experienced. This bifurcation and phenomenal bifurcation of the self, of the I, of the consciousness. So if I say I am the consciousness, mind is also conscious. Mind is not inert. The nature of the mind is consciousness. Then what is inert in the mind? What is inert in the mind? The thoughts are inert in the mind. Because thoughts are coming and thoughts are going. They are inert. But does mind come and go? We never think like this. Does mind come and go? Or you may say, yes, the waking mind comes and goes, then the dream mind begins and it goes, then the deep sleep mind comes, empty mind is there. But all that three, the waking mind, the dream mind, and the deep sleep, absence of the two, it's all happening in your mind. It is not outside your mind. See? But this capacity to see through this or come to this point requires a little bit of calmness in the mind. So, self is all pervasive, mind is also all pervasive. It's not that my mind is separate to your mind or your mind is separate to each other persons on this planet's mind. It's one mind. Just like we give this example again and again, that the space is not separate. Every house has a different space, it has got a different address. But you may say this is a different space, that is a different space, Australian space, American space, Indian space. But space is one. Imaginary bifurcation within that space. Imaginary lines are drawn. Just like you see these latitudes and longitudes along on the earth. When you see the map, the lines going down from North Pole to South Pole and all around the earth circumference. Longitude and latitude and longitude. No, are there those lines on the earth? They're only imagination which helps us to navigate around the earth. That's all. Similarly, this aham and idam are only thoughts which help us navigate through this this life. That's all. But in essence, there's only one consciousness which is appearing as the I and the aham and the idam, which is appearing as the mind. So minds are not many, the eyes are not many, the consciousness is not many, the I is nothing but consciousness, the mind is nothing but consciousness. We have to come to this conclusion. And we have to come to this conclusion without a thought. For that, we have to come to the seat of meditation on a daily basis. For that, little bit discipline is required. During the day, keep thinking about the self. Automatically, pull will come. Urgency will be there that I must sit with myself. So, let's together sit down now. Well, what together? You are in your place, I am here. We all sit down, and still it is quite quiet outside. The birds have started chirping. There's no traffic. And let's dive into ourselves and sit and be cheerful and happy forever and ever and ever. Close your eyes or keep them open, doesn't matter. All we have to do is shift our attention not to the mind. Shift your attention to the point from where the attention is beginning. That is you. Be attentive of the attention. If I can put it that way. Be attentive of the attention. And attention doesn't need to be by way of thought. Attention does not require a thought. Attentiveness is just being available. Be available to yourself.